Okay. Okay, I'm just going to start with this camera down on the tabletop because I have lots to share with you today. So I'll start with hello, I am Christina Taylor. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from North Canton, Ohio. And I am coming to you today with a video for some card making projects that we did in our class this last week. And just sharing with you some new products too. So I thought I'd just give you a peek of everything, and we'll go ahead and get started by sharing these things with you. So the projects that we did in this class was my um, stamp, create, and chat class. And we did some all occasion cards. So it was a lot of fun, and I got great feedback from the projects. I'm getting a little bit of an echo on here. So hopefully it's not coming through on the video transmission. So anyway, all right. So let me share with you a few things here. This is our new catalog coming out in September. So this is my copy, and I have an order of catalogs. They are en route, so if they don't come sometime today, they should be here by the end of the week. So if you're not in my club or a consistent customer of mine, you typically will get your catalogs that way. But if you have interest in getting another or getting the new catalog, reach out to me and let me know, and I will go about getting you that catalog. So I can't show you the inside, but this kind of gives you a peek at what's coming. And some holiday stuff is, of course, inside for sure. So a couple things I wanted to share with you before we get started on this video. The products of the month. So this month, so we are in August. There's a couple things going on. So we have our cardstock sale and cardstock and designer series paper sale. So right now, select designer series papers and cardstocks are on sale for 15% off. That includes a variety of designer series paper, the two-tone cardstock, and our regular 8.5 by 11 cardstock. So that is 15% off. And then that goes through the end of the month. And then currently, right now, there's a sale going on, started yesterday. Well, yes, started yesterday, and it goes through tomorrow. So Friday, just Friday the 21st. For your Stampin', you can earn double Stampin' Up! Rewards. So if your order is just over $20, that qualifies you to earn Stampin' Rewards. So instead of, say, on a $20 order, you would earn $2 rewards, you would actually earn $4 rewards during this promotion. So you can take advantage of the paper sale, items on the last chance list. You can purchase prepaid pumpkin paper prepaid subscriptions. Sounds easy for me to say. And you can earn double Stampin' Rewards on all of that to use at a later time. So when you are shopping online, if you get to the $75 mark with your purchase, you can choose product of the month if you have not already redeemed it for oh my gosh, like I really seriously can't talk today. If you have not already redeemed that product of the month, you can do so during the month of August or July. So the Begonia Bell was the product of the month for July. Super beautiful stamp set with these floral images and really nice sentiments in there. And it was still available. You can choose this for $5. Or you can choose this new paper, which it is the Glow of Harvest specialty paper. Let me open it up. I just got this. Literally just came in the mail. I was a little late at getting mine ordered. So let's look at it together. It's a pearlized paper, and there you can kind of see the pearlization on there. So to get that reflection. So it's a pearlized paper, really, really pretty. This is going to make some nice fall cards. So let's see. It's one-sided because it is a specialty paper. It's pearlized, so it gives you that extra shimmer on your project. So we've got that pattern. This one with the acorns, that's really pretty too. Let's see this one. That's nice with some different foliage And then here's one with a little leaf too. Oh, look at this one with the pumpkins. That's pretty. Okay, so we've got two of that. And then this one with some branches and some berries. So let's see, I'll try to get them all in there. The 6 different patterns. You get 2 sheets of each. So our specialty paper is normally $17. You can get it for $5. So that is a pretty good little bonus for the month of August too. So if you haven't gotten either one and you want them both, just place 2 orders. Like say you're ordering $150 worth of merchandise, split those orders up and do a $75 order, get this one for $5, and then do another $75 order and get this one for $5. You can redeem multiple products of the month in the same month. You just can't stack them in the same order. Don't ask me the reasoning behind that because I truly don't understand it either. But it's a way to get both of your products of the month if you haven't and you want to get both of them. So just wanted to share those with you. And then I wanted to give you a peek at the paper pumpkin for August because it's so beautiful. I just got mine, have not been able to create with it yet, but I thought I would give you a little peek because the paper pumpkin kits have just they have gotten so much better. And then next month in September, where you're going to get the newly designed Stampin' Spot. So it's going to be a little bit bigger. It's like an inch and a half bigger, so a little longer. And it has a nice grippy side, so you don't have to deal with the paper and this little cap maybe sometimes coming off. So this month's kit, you get the gray granite Stampin' Spot. And then these are the cards. Let's see if I can get a look how beautiful those are. Oh my goodness. Let me open this up. Like I said, I just got it. It came, excuse me, before class. And of course, I was busy with class stuff, so I didn't have time to open it up. So we'll just get a peek together. And then we'll get started stamping some projects. But again, that didn't cut enough. We're having some beautiful weather here lately in Northeast Ohio. I mean, we have had some rain, but we're having some beautiful temperatures. Yesterday we were in the creativity barn and the weather was amazing for that class. So that was a wonderful welcome event because last month's class was a little steamy. Okay, so now they got the plastic over there. You can kind of see that a little better. Look at these beautiful muted colors. This is so nice. This one makes 9 cards. So you've got your stamp set in here, which I'll show you. There should be a printout in here. I'll show you what's in that. We've got some tear and tape and some gray granite and white twine. These beautiful envelopes. Those are so pretty. Oh, I love that. Ooh, there's a gray one too. Look at that. Oh, they're textured. There's some nice texture to them. Let's see. So we've got some die cut label pieces and some card layers. And then here's our card bases. So they're all have like a linen texture on there. You can just kind of see a little bit of that in the camera. And then look at these detailed die cut elements. Oh, that's so pretty with some like blended color on the bottom. Let's see what else. Ooh, and the gray, and it looks like Lost Lagoon. This is so pretty. Oh, this is going to be great to create my kit together. I've got a kit together next Thursday. So that is, I think, August 27th. And I've got, I think, one spot left, and then it's going to be full. And you just have to bring your kit. And where is there's normally a stamp set in, I think, well, there it is a little closer. Okay, there we go. So you get this nice greenery piece, a little heart, and some little speckles, which we all love speckles for our projects. I'm always here for you, friend. I'm so sorry, and sending my whole heart at a time when words fall short. Oh, this is a great hope and encouragement set. Yeah, I love them. Anyway, I'm having a kit together next Thursday. So if you want to join and you're local, all you have to do is either bring a kit to go from class, bring out your paper pumpkin or a kit from our kids collection, come on over and we're going to create together and all do some paper crafting. All right. We are going to start with this beautiful project right here, featuring one of our new embossing folders, getting that subtle texture there, and a new die set. And then I pulled back some of our old favorites, the ombre glitter paper. So let me share with you what we're going to use on this project. Okay. So I've pulled out some Granny Apple Green and Mambo Melon. That's what I used in class because the glitter paper during your project creation, you would have one of those two colors in the papers. And so I figured everybody can choose what they want to use. And so we are using, this is the rainbow glimmer paper. So you get this gradual effect of all the colors going down, and there's just a strip of that was cut for everybody. So you had 6 squares to be able to complete your projects with. And this stamp set that we're using in the die set is Poetic Petals dies. So you can see here, this is the dies that I used. There is just a regular square, then there's one with a piercing edge to it, and there's one, you can see it better here, with a stitched edge right here. And then you've got 3 insets for like die cutting a flower into it. And I had a card. Let me grab it. Hang on. It's somewhere around here. Okay. I know I've got it somewhere around here. It'll turn up when I least expect it. I'll show it to you. There's another card with this project, this product. I showed the ladies at class just to show you what you can do with these dies, and I will find it before we're done with this project. So you've got the die set, and then you've got this great sentiment set with just a variety of different sentiments in a couple different fonts. And that is bundled together with this set of dies for a 10% savings. And then softly woven 3D embossing folder, which is one of our large folders. So we're going to use that to get a nice texture. And let's see, put these aside here. Okay, so our supplies that we are using, I've got our cream envelope and then a piece of Very Vanilla that is 8.5 by 5. Oh my gosh, 5.5 by 8.5. Scored at 4.25. Words seem to be hard for me today, so this video ought to be interesting. And then I've got a piece of vanilla that is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And then so that you do not have to watch me die cut everything, I've gone ahead and die cut both this, but all 3 of the floral dies. So I've got this one with just a 2, and then a single blossom. And I have used all the different, well, no, you know what I did? This one is both piercing, so I grabbed, you'll have 2 with texture, and you'll have 1 with no texture. Okay, and then I've got these 3 squares from my rainbow glimmer paper where you can see on my example, I have more like cool tones. This is going to be like more of the warm tones, but your cards will complete just the same. You're just going to have a different variety of color. So it looks like on this one, we'll be using the Mambo Melon. So I'm going to take the Granny Apple Green ink away since I won't need that one. And if you're putting your card kit together at home, if you did a craft along kit to go, everything I've done is flush to the card. I've only just popped up this one layer of this flower and glimmer paper, but you can do as you want if you're just kind of working ahead. So, okay, so we're going to start by folding our card base in half. Get my bone folder here and just flatten that fold. I'm going to put this aside just over to the side here. Okay, and I'm going to start by gluing my detailed pieces to the glimmer paper because we want to get those adhered. Let me grab a piece of scrap paper. All right, I'm going to bring this in. And I'm just going to go ahead and flip my flowers over so I can put glue on the back side of them. I probably could have had this done already. It's not like you need to see me glue flowers down, but we will just go with it. Okay. Are any of you excited for fall? We've gotten a couple like cool nights, and next week we've got some weather that's a little more mild. Um, I think in a couple of the days we're only supposed to be in like the low 70s, which will be very fall-like. And we'll get some cooler nights. So we've had a lot of hot, humid weather. And then, of course, you get the storms that come with that. So I think a little bit of cooler weather will be just fine. Okay. So I'm going to take the squares and just put the glimmer side down, push that on there, and do the same with each one of these. Okay. That one might look like I need to trim it just a little bit. And this one. Okay. So I'm going to flip those over. Oh, those are pretty. Flip those over. I'll just do this to kind of mush them together since I've got those detailed pieces. Yeah, I do need to trim that one a little bit. There's just an edge right there. So we've got those adhered together. Let me get my scissors so I can trim just this little edge off of there that's kind of hanging over. There we go, we're all set. Okay, so we've got our flower dies already mounted. We're good to go. Then we've got this piece of Berry Vanilla that I'm going to run through the embossing folder. And when I do, this piece turns into this piece with this beautiful texture. So we've got that done. And we're going to go ahead and assemble this card. Let me pick out a sentiment. So at class, I just let this card just speak for itself because there was just such beautiful pieces on the front that I didn't put a sentiment inside. And I left the stamp set over there so that you could choose whatever kind of card you needed to make it for. And let me see. I'm trying to think what I would want to use it for right off the bat. Let's do. Looking for have a beautiful birthday because we can always use birthday cards. So we'll use the Mambo Melon and stamp that. Just right in the center there. Let me clean that off with my chamois. Okay. All right, we're going to go ahead and layer this piece on our card front. Now, if you're doing your Craft Alone card kit at home, this piece is cut very tight to the edge. You have a very, very thin margin there. See how like that, this just little layer there, just a little like 1/16 of an inch, really, 1/8 of an inch maybe at most. So I'm going to use the liquid adhesive so I can get around the edge of this and get into those corners, all those little nooks. Okay. All right. And this right to the edge. So I'm going to flatten that down. Let me give that a press. With all those little embossing crevices, I just want to make sure I get a good adhesion to that card front. Okay, so I've got my card base done with that layer of embossed pieces on there. And then let's see, which one do I want to focus on? Okay, let's see. So you can just kind of play with how you think you want to set these up. So I'll set them up a little differently than I did the ones. Okay, I think I do want to put that one there. So just kind of play with them, see how you want to put them on the card. Where like this one, so I did a little different position with the flowers on this one. And of course, the colors are different. You can absolutely do that too. So I'm going to put them like this. Let me get some Stampin' Seal on this and go ahead and put these in place. So again, these two I'm going to put down with just some Stampin' Seal. Okay. And then, oops, nope. Then I want to put this one on dimensionals. I almost messed that up myself. So I want to put dimensionals on this one. All right. And I'll just go ahead and kind of center this in between the two. And there we go. That's our first project. So you have a combination, and if you're doing the kit to go, you've got both color combinations, like a cool one and a warm one. Okay, let me put these aside and come back in with our next project. Okay. All right, on this one, we are using Secret Sea ink. We're going to use Peach Pie. We are using a Flowers Fair large background stamp, and this is currently on the last chance list. I believe it's even on sale. I'm almost positive it is. The stitched stylish shapes, I use those all the time. Basic necessity for any crafter. And then this paper that we're using is the Florals and Bloom Designer Series paper. It is currently on the paper sale. Here's just a quick flip of some of the patterns that are in here. Let me do that. Some really, really pretty florals. The one that we're using, I've cut it all up in here, so there's no longer any left in there. Okay, and then I grabbed one of the paper pumpkin stamp sets. This was from a couple months ago, and you know what? I should have put the box because then I could tell you what it was from, but I did not think it had that much. But these are the stamps that are in it, and Paper Pumpkin offers a variety of stamps and with different fonts and sayings that we don't necessarily have in the catalog, as far as the fonts or the style that it's laid out. So I think Paper Pumpkin is always a great value. Besides the supplies that you get to make the projects that are in there, you get the stamp set and the Stampin' Spots to kind of continue on your use with. Okay, so this project, oh my goodness, let me grab it here. Gosh, I am like just so haphazard today. You can tell I've got a lot on my plate, can't you? Okay, so this is the beautiful sunshiny project we are going to make now. And on this project at class, we use this paper, which is a combination of the papers that is in that package of designer series paper I just showed you. But because I ran out of card kits with this particular combination, I'm going to use this combination, which will still pick up the peach pie in this paper. So we're going to change it up a little bit, much like we did the first project. So this card is all pretty much flush to, the surface as far as this label is the only thing that's on dimensionals and popped up. So let me grab the gems that we need. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started with this one. All right, your paper that you have in front of you, if you're doing a craft along kit to go or you're crafting at home, you've got your white envelope. Then you have a piece of basic white cardstock that's 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. We've got a piece of peach pie that I have die cut because you know how I love to do that. I have die cut our banner right out of the center. We're going to use that on our card. But this piece of peach pie is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. Yeah. And then you've got your die cut piece. We use the largest banner in the stylish stitch shapes. Then you've got a piece of white that is 3.5 by 4 1/4. And then we've got 3 pieces of DSP. So you can see that these are the same pattern. I've just cut them and I'm going to use the opposite sides. So I've got 2 of one pattern and they are 1 inch by 4 inches. And then I've got just one of the other that I'll use on this side. With this pattern, it's 1 by 4, same measurement. Okay. So we're going to start by folding our card base in half. Score line and grab the bone folder. We'll do a little, there we go. And we're going to do a little layering with our designer series paper. I always like to use liquid adhesive when I'm using paper and trying to position things. And I'm going to start by putting some liquid adhesive, putting my center one in. So I'm going to kind of split the difference and just lay that there in case I need to change the position at all. And then I'm going to put one on each side. Using the liquid glue then just allows me, it gives me a little wiggle room to kind of move things around if I need to. So let's see. This one, just a wee bit. Let me move this. Go. Okay. All right, those look good. I'll press it, turn it over and press it down so I can get those to all fasten to the paper. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this layer on top of our peach pie. So let me kind of see where I want to put it so then I can give myself some points of reference with my glue. Yeah. So that way I don't put glue on the center of the white and then I've got it sticking all over my hands. There we go. So I'm going to take that and place it in the center of my peach pie layer. Fasten that in place. And then on the inside, I did not stamp a greeting, but I did put some flowers on the inside. So we're going to use this Flower Fair stamp. And let me grab a foam mat and our paper. I'm going to move these inks out of the way. Just so I can get everything on camera here so you can see. I'm going to put that paper there. So I've just got a foam mat down. And I'm just going to ink the top of the stamp because I just want to get that at the base of my card. So put my card base down, turn over my big stamp there and just kind of come up on the bottom and give a press. So then I've got those nice flowers kind of coming in. They'll mimic what we've got on the front of the card. And then while I'm at it, I want to go ahead and do my envelope. So an easy way to do your envelope is take a piece of paper, tuck the envelope in, and then fold it back behind so that way you can stamp. And you can get that print on your envelope without getting it all over the back side of the envelope. So I'm going to ink this up, just the top part, because we're not stamping that bottom part. Come over the flap and then press down. Okay. So we've got that nice design on our envelope there. All right, we're all done with the peach pie ink. And this aside. Okay, now we need to stamp our sentiment. And I've got Hello Sunshine on here, which I love that sentiment. So we're going to go ahead and use that one again. But I've had a variety here to choose from at class. And then I used a Secret C on this one because it was really picking up the blue tones in that paper. But on this one, trying to think, like maybe I want to use, let's look at the paper. So if you're never sure, if you're not sure what the colors are for sure, we'll look at the back of the paper and see the colors. There is garden green in there. I think I'm going to grab the garden green and use that because it'll be a little softer than the Secret C, and I don't have those blue tones as prevalent in this paper. So let's see. Got my garden green, so we'll come in with that. And stamp that Hello Sunshine right in the center of that banner. Okay. Yeah, I think I like that green. A little softer on this one since the colors are a little different. Okay, we're ready to assemble our card front. Do that. And that margin is going to be really slim there, just giving you a little peek of that white coming through. And then we're going to put our banner on with some dimensionals and pop that up. Get one in the center there so we don't get like a saggy banner. Okay. That right in the center. And then for the gems, because I'm not using that Secret C, so we use the In Color 2026 or 2025-27 In Color Flat Pearls. I might come in with the orange on this one. Let's see. Yeah, I think I will. I think I'm going to do that. Maybe even the yellow, actually. You know what? Let's do the yellow because we've got sunshine on there. Let's do the yellow. It'll pick up the yellow in the paper. So we will go with that. Well, if my gem would want to release from my take your pick tool. And put that there. Oh yeah, I like that. Okay. All right, I'll put these aside. Okay, let me put the lid on my glue there before we end up having glue all over our project. So there is our second project. So here you can see it with like the Secret C and the blue muted tones, and then you've got more of like the yellows and the pinks and the peach and stuff a little more focused there. So we changed that up with the garden green and put the Darling Duckling little dots on there to pick up the yellow in that project. Okay, let's see. All right, we'll put this one aside. Let me come in here with another one. Oh, let me show you. This was the project I was looking for. So in that last project we did with the die cut flowers where we made the three squares. This is using that die, which is cutting it out of a panel so that the image is like cut into the paper. And then we made a shaker card with it. So really easy to do. And I think I'll be showing this on my in color video for the Golden Glow, just kind of as a bonus project, because I showed the ladies at class. I'm like, I'll try to do a video on this because they wanted to know how to make the shaker card, or I might just pop in and do a separate little video. It's a super fun card, and it's just using that Poetic Petals stamp set and dies. So really nice. All right, let's come in here with our third project. We're bringing that Stamparatus in here, our good old Stamparatus. We love it. We do have a stamp positioner now, so that is an option, but I've got the Stamparatus. Okay, we've got secrets, or not secret tape, soft sea foam. We just used secret tape. Peaceful pine. We're using our Stamparatus, or you can use a stamp positioning tool, whatever you have. And then I've got some stamps here. And the products that I used to make this card, we used the cut and emboss dies for the Fern and Flora dies, and I grabbed this label out of there. So that's where our label came from. And then our stamp imagery is all coming from the Friendly Foliage stamp set. This and the dies are on the last chance list right now, and they are on sale. We also use the dies on this project as well. And let me grab that one die out of there so I can show you what we did without having to have you watch me do the big shot and or the cut and emboss machine and watch all that. So, okay. The supplies that we have are soft sea foam. We've got 5.5 by 8.5 and it's scored at 4.25. Then you've got a piece of peaceful pine with a chunk cut out of it because that's how I roll, you know. The peaceful pine is 4 by 5.25. Then we've got another piece of soft sea foam that is 3 3/4 by 5. And we have a die cut piece for our floral and a label piece already die cut, as well as your envelope. Okay. So let's do the stamped floral piece first. And I'll show you what we did on that. So when I'm having class and we're doing a lot of die cutting, I like to set a template up for the ladies because it just makes things a little easier. Maybe it will either prevent them from having to do any die cutting, or they would do part of it after stamping, depending, like with this die or with this image and this die in particular. I die cut the one piece, made a template, and then they stamped and die cut the rest of it out. So let me share with you what I did. I'll turn this to the side so you can see. I've got my first die cut piece, and I'm going to go ahead and insert it in my template that I just made out of just some red cardstock to give me a nice contrast there. I'm going to take my soft seafoam ink and ink the Stampa and just flip that over right onto my template. And then I'm going to push down with my little press here. Okay. Lift that up. And then I've got my stamped image. Okay. Really, really simple. So I've got my stamped image. Then what I'll do is, so first I did this die cut piece and got my big white die cut piece there. Then I'm going to take this die and this goes right over. So if you line it up there, you can see that it fits right over all the little petals. And you run that through the cut and emboss machine. And when you do, you get this piece, which is all those petals kind of die cut out and gives you a nice visual to add some other color behind. Okay. So we've got that done. We're going to come in with our card base and fold that in half. And let me grab my bone folder here. Flatten that. Okay. And we need to do a little stamping on our front panel. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm creating, did not show you the card. My goodness. I think I like haven't eaten enough chocolate today or something because I am just like a little off kilter. Took a drink of water. Maybe that'll help refresh me. Okay, this is the project we're making that I've started making without actually even showing you. But I like to give you a peek of it, of like what we're doing. So we're going to do a little stamping across this panel here. But if you're layering with the craft along, you want to get a jump ahead. This piece is up on dimensionals as well as the label. Everything else is flat to the card. So let me put this in just a little bit over here, and then I'm going to actually show you what we're going to do, which is what I intended. Oh my goodness, Christina. Okay, I've got my Peaceful Pine ink pad, and what I'm going to do is create my banner across the front of the card. And I'm just going to show you how I started this. I'm not going to make you sit and watch me stamp this a dozen times. So I just, for me, I turn the cardstock like this so that I can build upon the layer. And it allows me to kind of keep it in line. So that's what works best for me when I'm trying to create a border across a piece of cardstock. And we end up with this. So we've got this piece, and we're going to do some layering. So I will put that aside. So we've got our layer piece. We've got that. We need to get our green behind this. So what I've done is taken that piece that I cut out of the Peaceful Pine, just out of the center, and I'm going to go ahead and mount that to the back of this because I want that green to come through. So much like we did for the detailed squares, we are just going to put some adhesive on these blossoms. Keeping in mind, you just want to do it within the rectangle because if you put glue on these pieces up here, we're not putting cardstock there. We're just, okay. And okay, I think that should be sufficient. Then I'm going to take my Peaceful Pine piece and just kind of lay it right over top of that, all those glued areas, and flip that over, and you get that nice contrast of the soft seafoam and the Peaceful Pine. And then inside, on my inside of my card, I'm just going to take this little stem stamp that was in the set and stamp that once and stamp it twice just to give a little bit of greenery there. And then we'll go ahead and do the envelope, very similar to this banner across the front. I'm just going to, let me get my mat because I used it on the other thing. I don't want to get that all over my surface and then have green ink there. Okay. So I'm going to do that once in the center and then just come this way and there. Okay. All right, so we've got that nice banner across the back, and then I'm going to come in again with that little leaf, put that on the front. Okay. Got our envelope. We're getting ready to assemble this card. So come in with our liquid glue. Put that layer right on top. A nice border there. Okay. And flip that over and layer that on our card front. I'm hoping I just yeah, okay. I thought, oh, for heaven's sake, the way I'm going with this video, I probably layered it on the back side and I need to flip it over now, but that's good. Okay. Gonna put some dimensionals on this piece. There we go. Take these little guys off. And then I'm going to find it the right position that I want to put this in. This looks good. Okay. And I need to stamp my sentiment. Let's see, wishing you all the best. Let me grab the stamps because someone was using that class. She had a congratulations like retirement party to go to. So I remember her choosing that one. I'm going to put the thinking of you on here. I really like that one too. For I feel like a thinking of you card can go for a lot of different occasions. And I'm going to come back in with the garden green ink, not garden green, peaceful pine. Oh my goodness. I really feel like the peaceful pine is probably gonna, or peaceful pine is probably gonna replace garden green. I think they'll pull it out of the line when we do our color refresh, but I have no information to confirm that. That's just my 2 cents. So it's very much reminiscent of garden green, at least in my mind anyway. And so I'm going to pop this up, but I just want a dimensional on one side because I'm going to set the other part on top of this. And I didn't want to give it like a double lift. So I'll put that one down a little bit lower there. And then I ran out of the Peaceful Pine ribbon. So I grabbed this little guy and I'm going to put that knotted ribbon in there. And I need to find some glue dots. Let's get some glue dots here. And then I'll put that right on the card front. Just right in there. Tuck that in. Okay. All right, so there is our third card. So we got a little bit of different with the two different ribbons, but very similar looks. And then we're going to come in there with one more card. It's like a crafting frenzy today. I think hopefully I will I'm going to show you the card before I take it out of and go ahead and start stamping like I did last time. Okay, let's start with this. This is our card. We are using the Banners die set to create this beauty. I love this card. This is one of the favorite ones at class too. I just love the softness in it. I love the banners. Like you can do so much with this set of banner dies. I want to show it to you. It's huge. You could make a whole party banner. The biggest size banner is so big. But this is the card that we're creating. So let me share with you what we are using. So we're using the Greenery Lane stamp set. I've got the hugs and love out of there, love and hugs out of there. And then some of the ladies stamped some of this greenery images on their card as well. This is on the last chance list, as well as the set of dies to go along with it. So I do think it's a great set to have. Mine is very well loved. I've grabbed this die out of the set, and that's what we're die cutting and putting on our project today. Then I'm also using the Sweet Foliage stamp set. It's a big, large background stamp. I've used that a couple times here recently on class projects, but I really like it. I like the softness of it and that you can color in the leaves if you want, or you can just stamp them. You can stamp and blend them, just a variety of different things. It's very complementary to the paper. And this is our set of party banner dies. Look at that. That is a die set. That's a selection. How many are in here? I don't remember. 20. There's 20 dies in this. So this will make you all kinds of banners. So let me grab out the one that I used for the card, which I think, let's see, it might be this one. Nope, it's the next one. For my bad. Yes, I used these two for the card layers, and then I used this, so the second smallest one for the label that we're using on the project. Anyway, this set of dies is an investment. I believe it's $49. It is well worth it when you can make these kind of cards. It's so pretty. So let me come back to that and show you what I did. We're using some embossed designer series paper. This is specialty paper. The current design is on our called Irresistible Designs. It's an embossed paper. It comes in 3 different patterns. So you'll have something to kind of like use to replicate this project. And then, of course, I'm using Stamparatus because I love my Stamparatus. You can use your stamp positioning tool, whatever you might have. Okay, so on this project, we've got our basic white envelope. We have got, I mean, we have the card base. Okay, we've got a, oh my goodness, hang on just a second. Okay, we've got our card base, and this card base is 11 by 4 1/4, and it is scored at 5 1/2. We've got your envelope. Is this side? Then we've got our banner cut piece of the Irresistible Designs embossed paper. That is cut from the banner. And then the same size banner that we used to cut that layer with and the specialty paper, I have cut out a white banner for our inside. Then we've got our die cut smaller banner for our sentiment. And two die cuts, both in the one in the balmy blue and one in just the basic white. And that is from our Greenery Lane dies. Okay, so let me share with you how I created the banner card. So in doing that, you'll have your card base folded in half. And you typically you'd want to put your die and just like center it on the card stock. But if you do that, you're actually going to cut your card base in half. So to create a banner card, you want to drop or push up your die. Do you see how there's just that little gap right there? But it's above the fold of the die. You want to take it through the cut emboss machine like that so that it does not cut your fold. You still have the fold of the card. And when you do that, you end up with this. So it creates your card banner base. Okay, let me put these dies aside. All right, so this one's going to come together pretty easily. We're going to do a little blending. We'll go ahead and get our stamping out of the way first. Move this over to the side. Now, if you're seeing any of the products that I'm sharing today on this video, and you would like to have them for your own personal creative collection, you can shop at my online store at stampingyoucrazy.stampinup.net, and you can find these products in my online store. And if you're watching this video for the first time, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel so you get all the new videos that I create and upload. You will have those for creative inspiration. I'd also love it if you would like and share this video. So that helps me build my channel following. So I am going to create this. I think this got actually moved a class because I think it was on the other way. Let me get the hinge out of here and see. Yes, it was. Okay, I want it coming this way because I'm just going to use the end for stamping. So I'm going to take my balmy blue ink and just stamp that lower portion. And I'm going to take my banner and put it just with the tips of it in there. Because I just want a little leaves on the edge of my banner piece for the inside of my card. So that leaves us with this, which will complement our card nicely. And then while we're at it, I'm going to go ahead and do the envelope. And for that, I want to stamp this part of the background stamp because I want to make sure I get my entire flap. So I'm just going to ink that. Okay. And then I will bring my envelope flap over here to the side. And I just kind of like look over where that is going and press that down. Let me get my little press that. we go. I did a Pilates workout and my arms, I'm not gonna lie, they're killing me a little bit. It was a really good workout, but I'm a little sore right there. So I have to apply a little pressure with both hands instead of just one. Okay, so we've got those two pieces to complement our card. We've got our card base. Now we're going to come in and do some blending. Okay, so I'm going to bring my scrap paper back in, and then we'll stamp our sentiment. So to do the blending, I'm going to take my blending brush and my Balmy Blue ink and just swirl that a little bit on there, top it off, and then I'm going to come right in the center. And you can apply as little or as much ink as you want, depending on how strong you want that blue um, color pop to be. I kind of like that. I like that it fans out a little bit. You can see hints of that vine, but this really gives you a strong impression right there. So I think I'm kind of good with that. I might just go a little bit to the sides here. Okay, so we're good. Put that aside. Got our blending done. Let's go ahead and stamp our sentiment. And I'm going to do the love and hugs again. I think that's a nice one for like just sending to really anybody that you want to send like a little caring note to. Okay. Close our ink and we are ready to layer and assemble this card. Okay. So we'll put some of our adhesive on here and put that on our card front. Okay, then we're going to flip that up and we'll go ahead and put this inside layer in. Okay. And then we're going to build with these little stems here. And how I did it was I just put a little bit of my Stampin' Seal right there in the center. And then I just fastened these little guys where I wanted them. So I'm just going to kind of lay them right about there. That way they're stuck in place and then I can put my sentiment on top here. And oh, I've got for the little gems that are over here. Let me get some dimensionals on here. Okay. And put that on there. And then the gems that I'm using are the frosted iridescent dots. They were on the last chance list. If they're still there, grab them because they are very, very pretty. And I used, you've got pink, purple, clear, and then the blue. And let me grab some here. Just a few blue ones left. So I'm just going to put 3 on if I can get them off of here. Okay, and we'll put one down here. Nice. They're so pretty. They're just such a soft little embellishment with that little glimmer. So I do love them a lot. Okay. All right, and there is our fourth card. Let me get this adhesive out of the way and I'll come in and put all of our projects here. Let's see. Okay. So that's our fourth card. And then this was our third one that we made. Go. And the second one, I'm trying to put those envelopes in there too so you can see those. And then our first one. So all kinds of creativity. All right. Let me flip the camera down since we started and I wasn't on camera. Hang on a second. We'll flip this down. Okay. What is All right, let me get my light out of here. All right. Thank you so much for hanging in there with me today. Oh my gosh, it was a frenzy of stamping, wasn't it? I'm sorry. I probably really need to go eat some chocolate because you can tell I had things all jumbled up. It's been that kind of a day. But I'm so glad that you joined me today. I hope that these projects were inspiring for you and that you're going to finish creating them, or if you didn't get a craft along kit to go, you're going to make them yourself and then you're going to send them out to brighten somebody's day because paper sunshine is the best to receive. So I thank you for joining me today. So until next time, happy stamping.